So today we got this old 4748 International. I'm not really sure what year it is yet. 4748 look about the same. It does have a 5-cylinder in it. We'll get to that in a minute. But it ain't too bad of an old truck. It does have some rust in it because it was up in, I forget where it says down there, but I'll figure it out in a minute. Up north somewhere. It's a factory built wrecker is what I was told. Not really sure. The rear end in it is locked up, so hopefully once we get her running, we can break that loose. Been off the road since about 1968. That's the last year it was registered. We kind of got it drug off here in the weeds because, well, that was the only place to get it off the trailer because this bed really didn't fit very well on the trailer. It's got a motorcycle gas tank that I ran into and kind of squished it on there trying to push it. But other than that, it's a pretty nice old truck. On the interior, if we can get around here, we don't have no seat in it. It does have a 4-speed, I believe that's what it is. The internet's trying to tell me it's a 3-speed, at least that's what Google says, which I don't think it is. If it is, y'all let me know, but I'll figure it out eventually here. No seat in it, so we're gonna have to do the old 5-gallon bucket seat if we get her running. And she says she's got 15,000 miles on her, but I know that's at least 115,000. I'll show you guys the engine in here. Let's see here. Got the universal hood prop here. It works for every make and every model. Get that there prop good so it don't knock me in the head. I don't know if the engine's locked up yet or not. I did leave a pipe wrench in here because I was trying to mess with that, but the reason it's a 5-cylinder is because this spark plug hole's got a bolt in it for some reason. I'm saying either they stripped the spark plug hole out or this cylinder's dead, but it does have 5 cylinders, so it should run off of that. I think it's a 214 cubic inch from factory, so we should be like at 176 point something cubic inches, I believe, since the spark plug's down, but she should still run real good. We did have a massive pack rat nest in here, and when I took it to the car wash, I kind of just sprayed it off there. But we're going to get into trying to make this thing run. I guess the first order of business is to throw a battery on it because I can't get a hold of the crankshaft, and there's no way to get a hold of it, and I don't have the little crank starter, so we're just gonna have to go on in the interior, find the battery terminals, and we do have a kick down starter on it, so I'm hoping it's the one that's wired up. The starter's always hot, and it's just the cool that the key turns on and off, but we'll find out here in a second. So it did not take long to find out the starter is frozen solid, at least the kick down part of it is. So I'm gonna have to dig all this nasty stuff out of here that this rat packed in here and find the starter and work it over real good with a hammer or something. There's a spark plug wire. I'm gonna say that's the cylinder number 1, which has the delete on it now. And I don't know how pack rats get big pieces like this in here, but they always manage to do something weird. See here. There's the distributor. Guess we better check the oil. Dadgummit. There we go. It don't look too bad, really. Nothing looks too bad except for all that's rusted up, and I'm sure the dadgummit electrode thing, can't think of the name of it. It'll come to me here in a minute. I'm sure the brushes in it are all nasty, I'm sure, because that's all rust right there. Bendix don't look too bad. The flywheel didn't look too bad either. So at least that gives us some hope that the starter was just taken off because it wasn't working properly. Get some PB Blaster in there and get everything loosened up. Someone suggested this in the comments on one of these. I normally use WD-40 or Deep Creek, but I guess we'll give this a try. 3/4 inch wrench in a socket here. We're gonna try to shove the starter in there. I probably should lay the bolt somewhere close because once I get it there, it ain't gonna be very comfortable to reach around anywhere and get it. Let's see here. Let me remember how this went in there. You guys remember how it went in there, because it's just a few minutes, maybe seconds ago for you guys, but for me it's been about 3 hours. Because I had to go to town and had to go back to town twice because the bolt broke off in there, and I had to come back here and weld on it to get it fixed. Then I had to wait for the guy to rebuild the starter. Okay, let's see here. It's just gonna all of a sudden go, I'm sure. Maybe not. So that had to be one of the hardest to get to starters I've ever had to do. I mean, I've done some that are pretty rough, but boy, that one right there, that top bolt, the bottom bolt takes 5 to 7 business days, and the top bolt there takes a month of Sundays to get in there because you have to snake in there. And finally, I was lucky enough to get the socket on there, the shallow well, and I had to stuff it with cardboard to keep it from going too far on there. And once I got it in there, had to get back here with my fingers and spin it in like that. And once I got it on there, it was just fine, and I could use that socket there and tightened it down. And next thing to do is hook everything up to this little dude, and after that we should be able to see if this motor spins over. Hopefully it does, because I already went to the trouble of getting the starter back on it. This little handy dude here that someone set up was a smart idea. I gotta thank the person that put that on there probably 53 years ago when this thing was parked. Get that little lock washer right there. Put that down. If it'll stay down. Hey. Or if it'll keep bouncing up, you never know. Then get that on there and we should be good to go here in a second. Hopefully it'll spin over. I have good hope in it because it's all together, even the radiator's in this one, so it's always a good sign. Before the people that I got it from got it, it did spend a little time in a salvage yard, so I wonder why it was there. It's never a good sign when they've been in the salvage yard, but I'm sure there's nothing wrong with it. I really think the starter's what was wrong with it, and it wasn't a good enough truck back then or worth enough for them to finish fixing the starter. That's what probably. That should be enough. Next one's this one right here. I'm surprised one of these ain't broke off yet. Normally that's what happens. Oh, but knock that down there. Not a good idea to leave these cylinder holes open with all this junk up here, but we got to pour some Marvel Mystery Oil in them in a minute and hopefully fix it being locked up problem. I'm sure it'll all pour out the valves on a few of the cylinders, but as long as we can get some of it down in there, we should be good to go. That spark plug's in there pretty good. Pop that off of there real quick. Maybe we can. Now, well, eventually I'll have something there. Unless that's a bigger plug. Never know, sometimes you get mismatched ones. Nope. Just got too much rust on it. Ow. There we go. There we go. I've used probably 4 or 5 gallons of this just recently on these, getting these old things running. I don't even use more than that, I don't know. Was just buying it by the little pint or whatever they sell it by until I noticed they sold it in the big old jug, and I figured easier to buy it by a gallon than buy the little deal of it. Wish they sold it by the 5-gallon bucket though. So if your Marvel Mystery Oil or work for them or any of that, you need to tell them you need to sell that stuff by the 5-gallon bucket. I'd buy a bucket of it. Because they use way too much of it. Could give all these, well, it looks like we're gonna put at least one of these bottles in every hole. Probably use a gallon on this one too. So the truck's been setting for a while. We're gonna see if that Marvel mystery oil setting in the cylinders did anything for it. It's all soaked down. It looks like so far I don't see any, because I filled these level. This one I didn't get to fill level, but these 4 through here I filled completely level. So it sank down. Hopefully when I hook the battery up here, we can get it spinning over. There we go. Now hopefully when I hit the button, it'll spin over, because it's been setting for a while. Don't seem like it's gonna do it. Yeah, it ain't one to spin over. So, guess we'll take that bolt out of cylinder number 1 and see what's up with that. Because maybe that bolt's holding us back a little bit. Wouldn't happen to be a 13/16. I guess it is. Who knows, that may not want to take that bolt out, but, well, I really don't want to take it out actually. Because who knows what cylinder 1 looks like. Okay, it's not very tight. It's never a good sign. It's just kind of sitting in there, ain't it? Yeah, it's just sitting in there. Oh. Not exactly sure what that was for. Did someone just set that in there for stuff to, so stuff didn't fall in it, maybe? That's a starter bolt. Huh. So a starter bolt's the same size as a spark plug hole on this thing. Maybe we do have a 6-cylinder. Since the engine still doesn't want to come unstuck, I took the radiator out of it and put a wrench on there and tried turning it over, and all I was doing was tightening the harmonic balancer bolt. Didn't want to break it off, so I took all the bolts out of the head, and it should be ready to pull off of here, and hopefully it don't look too bad in there. Let's see here. Get that out of there, and we should be able to pick it up and pull it through here somewhere. Oh, it don't look too promising. Let's see here. Well, it don't look too bad. If I can get this fit through here. All the valves are closed, which is weird. Like all of them. Oh no, not all of them are closed. Set that down there. Top of the head don't look too bad. The bolt back here was broken off when I started. It was already sitting in there. Let's see. That rear cylinder looks a little rough. This one don't look too bad. There's a bunch of junk on top of them. That valve's pretty clean. This is probably stuck because it's rusted down there. And the head gasket is maybe usable again. Maybe this will work here. This might knock some of them loose. Yeah, we'll go for number 1. There we go. That may or may not done anything. Not really. Any of them even trying to move? Let's see here. Not really. So, clean the tops of these cylinders off because don't want all that down in there. That valve right there looks a lot worse than all the others. That cylinder's full of stuff, so is this one. Rear one's really got a bunch of junk in it. See here. Rear one has a lot of rust in it. It ain't too bad, but see there. There's some of the pack rat drug in there. Find the PB blaster here. There it is. Spray these valves down. We'll clean all this up once we get it spinning over, because it's filthy right now. Now to maybe beat on them again and hopefully something will move here. There we go. This one next. It seems to go to this one here. Rear one's just gonna have to come unstuck on its own because they can't get to it good enough to hit it. But they don't look too bad. The edges of that piston though, they're a little beat up. Well, no, that may just be the carbon on top of it. Say that's what it is. Cylinder walls don't look like they have much ring ridge in them. Well, yeah, they have quite a bit. That side does. Let's see on this. Yeah, they're not. This is pretty bad right there. Probably. That one right there is trying to move. Only one of them's free, and it's that one right there. So we'll have to go back around to them. Seems 1 out of 6 is loose. That may or may not have done anything to this one now. Maybe try this one next. Get some of them loose at least. Not sure if it's doing any good yet or not. Some more of this. May help, may not. At least all the valves were closed except for 2, which is weird. Normally, most of them are open, and they get stuck open, and you got to beat them with a. You got to get underneath them through there and hit on the stem of the valve, or if you hit right there, it'll just break them right off. But yeah, I still got the starter hooked up, so maybe I don't. I guess I don't. Nope, already unhooked it. Hook it back up. Well, I'll get back to you guys once I got this where it's spinning over. At least a few more pistons are loose. So the old International 4748's been sitting here for about 2 months, maybe 2.5 months now. I did a while back hook it up to the truck and pull it backwards in gear and forwards in gear to try to get the motor loose, but as of then we were still stuck. I haven't tried it yet in about probably 2 weeks or so, but I've been heating them. I've heated this cylinder a few more times. I've put everything from Cruel oil down it to Deep Creek to PB Blaster to Marvel Mystery Oil. Just about everything's been down in these cylinders. The rear one has finally let the Marvel Mystery Oil through it. I've still been adding to it, so them are free. This one, it's really, really shallow, so I'm sure mainly all of it's went through. And this one, there's about 1 inch of fluid in there. And this is the one we were having problems with in the first place. So I'm gonna hit it with the starter and see what we get. Hopefully she spins over. There's a green cap to something, but hopefully she spins over, and I'm hoping we can get it to start. Let's see here. Well, it went sparky for some reason. Let's see. Well, we ain't getting a good enough ground yet. Let's try it. 1 second. There we go. Hopefully you guys can somewhat see here. Now let's see what we get. Well, she's still locked up pretty tight, but we ain't done yet. Let's see. We're gonna give it a few more wackadoos and see what we get.
I've put like 3 bottles of propane in this thing by heating it. I mean, I've got it pretty dadgum hot, and I thought these cylinders were loose, but well, Marvel Mistral don't taste too good. Swap the camera off here. There we go. I'm not sure if any was on there or not, but I got covered in it. Give her a spin here. They're bouncing a little bit, but nothing too major. Don't seem like they want to move, which I'm sure is because it's been parked since forever. See? Get a dadgum shower of it when you do this. Let's see. Hopefully you guys can see it up there. See that? Just goes everywhere. This stuff's pretty chunky too now from all the rust in these cylinders, but try this one again. Dadgummit. Get covered in that. Let's see. Do something you ain't supposed to do. This is bad on every part of the engine, but oh, there we go. If you see that, let's see here. We can get it to. There we go. Now let's see what we get. If you watch these 2 pistons here, see, it somewhat moves, which I've had it doing this for 2 months now. It'll move, but it won't really spin over. If you can see, these pistons were sitting here. This one was sitting at the top, which is weird. It only cycled that far. This one was also sitting at the top, and the rear one hasn't moved a bit. I have a feeling it's probably still stuck or something along them lines. It's a really hard one to hit too. But we're gonna put this on here and just beat the crap out of it. There we go. See what we get again. See, it'll move a little, but well, I hate to say this, but this one might have just beat us here. I mean, I've done just about everything a person can do other than tearing this old engine down, because we've got 4 out of 6 pistons free. The valves are free, the cam is free, and a while back I did pull the drain plug for about 2 seconds, and well, we had more water in there than in most rivers, more than likely. I mean, probably had enough water to fill a large swimming pool in the oil pan. I mean, the oil don't even look bad, it's the sad thing. Well, that has decided to weld itself on in the past couple weeks. I'm gonna say the main problem is probably somewhere on the camshaft seized. Not the camshaft, the crankshaft seized from all that water, because she don't want to turn over. But thank you guys for watching, and well, this one didn't go exactly as we thought it would. I figured we could get this old girl running after she's been sitting so long. But I'm gonna say that engine's gonna have to come out of here. Thank you guys for watching. In the next week or the next, we'll have a build up about a 40 Ford pickup. We're gonna do that thing in 1 part. And also, we got a lot more will it run. So thank you guys for watching. If you like this content, consider subscribing. And there's a lot of these on my channel that we've got running. Just every now and again, we run into the one that we can't get running.